Jobs of the future. The top 10 in-demand jobs in 2014. They didn't exist in 2010. We're preparing students for jobs of the future. We have to retrain them. This is the whole idea. Here's a little infomercial for you today about jobs of the future to help you to understand. You see, chemical phobia is going to get greater and greater, and people are going to want to get organic foods, natural medicine, and quantum superlearning enhancement technician. This is going to be a real job of the future. Today, your host will be Andrea and Brad V. Johnson. So we're going to be talking about jobs of the future.
Hi, we're here to talk about jobs of the future.
How exciting.
It is. I mean, it's like, think about it. It's like, a VHS repairman.
I still have those VHS cassettes.
You have VHS cassettes?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I think you're probably the only one who does. VHS is no longer a job of the future as a typewriter repairman.
No.
I mean, if you think about the jobs that were and the jobs that we have now, and then you think about jobs of the future, doesn't it just blow your mind? I mean, like, there are so many jobs that we have now which will be obsolete in the future.
So, tell me.
Tell you about it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Okay, stop.
most of the jobs that will exist in 2 years don't exist today. And that's what we're here to tell you about. One particular job for the future.
You see, being able to interface electronically with the brain and enhance superlearning and sports performance.
We're talking about quantum superlearning enhancement technician.
Wow, that sounds serious.
Isn't it cool? Quantum superlearning enhancement technician. Now let me explain.
Here we have Shiloh Bonick, one of the former singers from Boney M. And Boney M sold more records than the Beatles. It's amazing. And she's going to be one of our guinea pigs, one of our test subjects today. Today we're going to be talking about jobs of the future. How to get people to be able to work, because selling this technology, using this technology, servicing this technology, this is an exciting job opportunity of the future. As we watch and we learn a little bit more and more about this technology today, we're going to see that we've developed a way to enhance human performance with sport and learning, scholastic performance. And the jobs of the future will be selling and servicing and utilizing this technology.
Let's do a demonstration. I'd like to present my good friend and colleague, Shayla Bonick, the former lead singer of Boney M, who's here today with us to be our, shall we say, for lack of a better term, guinea pig in this experiment. I'd like to take this moment to thank you for participating in our experiment for our viewers at home. And I wanted to ask you a little bit of something. What do you think about this, the whole process of this experiment that we're going to be conducting, a super enhancement?
Well, I'm totally excited to be a part of this, and I do thank everybody that's responsible for making it possible. I think we're looking at a winner and something that's extremely enhancing to society, and most of all to parents. And you'll hear more about it afterwards, but from my side, I'm so impressed. I'm really impressed by this.
Yes, it is an impressive technique, and as I said, we'll be getting started with you shortly. Just wanted to go back a little bit on our history. It's like history that you and I have together. It's a pretty interesting one, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We've been able to do quite a bit, and I think just for basically our skills as artists, that's awesome. We've been able to enhance that as well, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
We went from stages in our performances, and I think we're at a pretty good place.
Yeah, and the main thing is that we always have fun doing what we're doing, because it's a hard business, and life is hard for some people as well. So anything that will enhance a comfortable existence can't be bad. And that does include our experience in performance.
Yeah, well, it's, like I said, it's getting better and better. We are continually evolving. Okay, let's get down to it.
Okay, Brad, what's really happening here? Should I be worried for Shaila?
No,
Good question.
not at all. What we're going to do is we've attached her to our machine, and what we're going to do is measure her body electric. It's going to measure impulses in her body. It's going to tell us if there's something imbalanced, something that's wrong. One thing that did happen during this procedure, we discovered something very interesting, that the machine can also teach us how to enhance your learning capability. Enhance your learning capability. It's truly exciting. And this is why we're here today, to conduct this experiment and show to you, the good people at home, how it works.
So, I'm going to ask you some mathematical questions, and we are going to see how the machine works on your brain. 2 numbers added together make out 10. 2 numbers multiplied by each other make 25. Which are the 2 numbers?
5 and 5. No, 25. 5.
Yeah, 5 and
5.
yes. Great. So,
Okay.
2 numbers added together, you get 12, and 2 numbers multiplied by each other, you get 35. Which are the 2 numbers?
5 and 6. No, 7 and 6. No? 5 and 6
No, 5.
and 7.
Yes.
5 and 7.
Okay, 2 numbers added together, you get 10. 2 numbers multiplied by each other, you get 21.
Oh gosh.
You can do it, I know that.
So, okay, you get 10, 5,
Just do
5,
it.
and 2 numbers will be applied together.
10 and 21.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Yes, 3 and...
3 and 8, 3, 8, 24, 3, 7, and
Yes,
7, 3
3
and
and
7.
7, yes.
Yeah.
In just one of our recent studies, we were able to show how we could dramatically help increase the learning potential in children.
So, now you have been on the machine, now I'm going to ask you new questions, and I guess you're going to reply faster, but we will see, okay? 2 numbers added together make 15. 2 numbers multiplied by each other make 56. What are the 2 numbers?
7 and 8.
Great. Great. So 2 numbers added together make 14. And 2 numbers multiplied by each other make 49.
7 and 7.
Excellent. 2 numbers added together make 18. 2 numbers multiplied by each other make 72.
12 and 6.
Great. Absolutely fantastic.
Now, what you've seen here, just a small demonstration of what we've been able to show in hundreds of different cases in many different studies, that we can increase math learning potential, increase all types of scholastic performance.
Wow, that was really interesting.
Wasn't it amazing? It was really, really
Did you
cool.
see? She was responding much faster.
Yes, and you know what else? But it's most important, it's like this new procedure that we've discovered, there are no side effects.
I was going to ask you. I was just going to ask you.
The brain is enhanced by, it's like in some cases, there was a case study in California, up to 27%. 27%.
Wow.
That is incredible, isn't it?
Have you tried it?
Me? Mm-hmm. Of course, listen to me.
Oh, that's how you do it.
We're learning it.
And even in sports, we were able to show in many different published articles how we could increase sports performance.
How can we find out more? Who did develop this?
Good. I'm glad that you asked. Let's talk to the developer. And now, let's meet the developer. It's my great pleasure to introduce Professor Desiré Dubounet.
Well, glad to be here. Nice to
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. From my old friend Brad. And basically, I started doing research at Youngstown State University in 1973. That's how old I am. And we were trying to find a way that we could, people could communicate with each other psychically. And we started measuring the brainwave, and we measured the skin resistance, we measured the heart rate, we were measuring the body electric. I used to be an electrical engineer. So I was fascinated by the body electric, not the body chemical. That's it. So I got into this, and we found that people who knew each other very well, intimate others, could communicate.
We were able to show that quantum entwinement actually allowed people to communicate unconsciously beneath their words to meaningful others at great distances, showing the principles of quantum mechanics work in the human body.
But as we were doing this, we were measuring skin resistance. To measure skin resistance, we have to apply a small current. And we found that there was a byproduct. People got more intelligent.
Really? Just like that, by accident?
Well, we just found it out, and we started doing this work, and then between 73 up until about 85, I had measured 935 patients.
Wow, that's a lot.
Oh, that's a lot.
Did a major study, started asking about the body electric and finding out, and then what we found is we could teach a new language twice as much in half the time.
Incredible. In half the time.
In half the time.
Half the time.
Twice as much. So we could get people to learn new words, and they could process math. And
Electrically, we could stimulate activity at the synaptic level and increase learning performance.
so we started doing this. We got the device registered in the FDA in America in 1989.
That wasn't today.
A long time ago.
That was a while ago.
And we started around the world. We have registered it in Europe, and now it's registered in 12 other countries. We sold 35,000 devices worldwide.
Incredible. That is
Now we're talking 100 million patient visits. Easy.
Still
Not-
not enough. No?
And not one recorded significant risk.
All devices being medically tested, absolutely safe. Insignificant risk.
When we measure the brain wave, we find out the voltage and the amperage of the human brain, so then we can input with it. You see, it's kind of like when you get into water, that's exactly the temperature of your body. You don't
Yes.
feel it.
Yes.
See? Your body has a shield protector, a surge protector. So if you put your finger into the wall socket, or if lightning goes off, you don't die. You see,
But you feel it.
well, you feel it. There's a surge protector, and as soon as you feel an electrical signal, your body shields from input.
Really? I didn't realize that.
That's what we found out. We had studied this. So then we found out if we measured your body electric potential and filtered in at that same level, and we go a little bit above it, we could filter electrons into the body. When we put in this pulsation, we found that osmosis works better because osmosis is electrical.
Yes.
And now every little enzyme works better, every hormone works better, every nerve works better, every synapse works better, and there's a 5 to 15% improvement across the board.
Wow. This is incredible, Andrea, isn't it?
Speechless.
And once we charge up your battery, once we charge up your battery, then what we found, it can last for a couple months. In other words, you don't need every day.
But how often you recommend this?
Well, what we found in this is that most, quote, normal people, if they get a couple of therapies over a course of 2 weeks, 4 or 5 therapies, that
How long is a session?
And as was shown and published in the BBC, the effects of a couple of therapies could last 6 months.
It's about 45 minutes. So about 45 minutes.
Okay.
So twice a week.
That's fast.
And once you get this, it can last for 6 months. Then you might have an extra job interview or a big game and you need a tune-up. You see.
And you got
So it starts
a little extra tuning, fine tuning.
We found that there still was there was a risk of people who might have too fast a nerve reaction, and they might get a vasovagal reaction, which means that they might get faint or sweat. So we decided that in order to make this extremely safe, we would have monitored therapists. The job of the future.
You see, memory, attention, speed, focus, creativity, flexibility, confidence all increased with the GSRtDCs therapy. The new job of the future, the Quantum Superlearning Enhancement Technician.
Caltech did a study where they put electrical stimulation into people's brains, put them into an MRI and measured it. Then they showed them pictures, and you know what?
What?
They saw the pictures as more beautiful after
Wow.
the therapy. It actually influeed beauty.
Or enhanced. It enhanced their perception of the. Oh my God.
So
this is
We need
incredible.
that.
We need it
Could you imagine us all enhance our perception of beauty?
Well, this is the idea. Could we enrich humanity? And basically, we have been working so medical. We have the CE mark, we have all this with the medical registrations, etc. And now what I see is with this quantum super learning enhancement technician, let's get out there and tell the parents, we can make your children a little smarter. We can make your child
Wouldn't want that.
What parent wouldn't want that?
Exactly.
It's like, I mean, really.
The child can throw the ball a little bit further.
Here, published clinical articles in peer-reviewed medical journals showing the body's ability to increase sports with this technology. 5% increase in strength, stamina, eye-hand coordination, and on. A whole history and many different types of procedures that have shown that this is helpful in sports with the children. Aren't your children worth it? And we were able to show that we could help with electroencephalograph and help different brain areas as well.
Case in point, there was a boy, this was a couple years ago, in Las Vegas. And he was the best quarterback in the city, in high school. He was the best quarterback. He injured his arm and couldn't play. And there was a couple of games left. He had gone to every doctor in the entire city. Couldn't get the arm fixed. Happened to go on to one of our technicians, a skio technician. Happened to go on, within one therapy, the boy said, oh my God. When the impulse, electrical impulse, goes through healthy tissue, the computer knows that's healthy. But when the computer senses it's diseased or trauma, see, it was an injury, then the computer sends an electro wound healing. It sends a pulse to help correct that.
Working with the body electric.
Body electric. Everything's electric.
Fantastic.
And knowing what the electrical flow, how it goes through healthy tissue, and then how it goes through injured tissue, the machine could set up an electro wound healing pulse to help stimulate recovery quicker in traumatized tissue.
So here, and now the boy got up, started throwing, he goes into the championship and he wins the big game.
That's a great story.
The doctors were upset.
Upset? I'm not understanding. You say upset.
Because they didn't do it. And the doctors were upset. And they took the therapist to court. And they called me up and they said, and I said, wait a minute, you healed the boy?
Are we missing something?
We're missing something.
This technique's been published in Scientific American, National Geographic, Psychology Today, and many, many different things, National Post, all showing the effectiveness of this technology in stimulating brain power as well as sport performance. The incredible, incredible research that's now exploding throughout the world.
Okay. So what we found, now this is the new job of the future. We're going to say that with biofeedback, insurance company billings, etc., the cost of a 45-minute to an hour therapy is going to be about $200.
That's reasonable, isn't it?
That's reasonable. Mm-hmm. If you can plan 4 or 5 treatments, you're talking $800 to $1,000 for your child. Your child goes in, gets the therapy. Everybody gets some response. And sometimes just one question extra on that SAT and you get into a better school. Yeah. And you get into a better job.
Yeah. Again, what parent would want that?
Yeah. Exactly.
You know?
What kid wouldn't want that? You know?
Completely safe.
And to make sure that it's safe, we wanted to have a technician therapist monitoring the session to make sure that there is a maximum level of safety and efficacy. Because it's not just being able to do buttons, it's learning how to do more and getting educated and learning how to get a licensed biofeedback technician certificate up on the wall that clarifies to the world that you can do this and do it safely. The Quantum Super Learning Enhancement Technician, this is a profession, and it is more than just hitting a couple of buttons. And make sure that the therapist that you get is licensed. This is very, very important.
Now with the monitored therapist, the therapist who is attending, watching, to help also talk about other issues like diet and don't smoke and don't do drugs. In other words, somebody who's there to further influence their enhancement, you see.
Their physical and mental and emotional health.
Exactly.
This is interesting because you're working on so many different levels with the children.
A therapist could easily make $1,000 a day, seeing just a couple of children, work a couple of days a month. In today's world, that that's what we're here today, talk about the jobs of the future. In today's world, so many people need jobs.
Yeah, this is true. And this is
And
definitely...
a job like this, when you have things.
when you're doing something positive,
Yeah,
and enhancing.
exactly.
I love the term enhancing, the word enhancing.
Yeah.
It's just-
Enriching.
it's the essence of what we're talking about, enhancement.
Enhancement. And now what we're going to see is just out of all these old jobs, a repairman, typewriter repairman, etc., giving way to the new jobs. And one of the great ones is going to be super learning enhancement technician.
Okay, but how much did it cost?
Well, what we're saying, this machine now, we've been selling this device, and the new Duke door device is going to be $27,000 US dollars.
Machine.
And there's a training, this is separate from the company, but there's a training from the International Medical University
Yes.
that Brad's working with.
National Medical University of Natural Education.
Yes. And altogether, we're talking about another $1,000, $2,000 for training and to become a licensed and international licensed biofeedback quantum super learning enhancement technician. So what we're saying is this is time for everybody to kind of get together. We're talking about a total expenditure of, let's say, $35,000. We can work terms to help people. But I think that this type of an investment, and this is the job of the future, because what corporation is not going to want technicians in their corporation? General Motors, Dallas Cowboys. Everybody's going to want their technicians to be a little smarter,
A little faster.
a little more insight, and a little more beautiful.
And happy and self-esteem, no?
Self-esteem.
It's important.
No, this is
Because-
important. You're right.
And it won't be long before every major company will want to have a technician to help their people.
Yes, it's the issue of prestige. This is important because, when you think about society today, how everything is geared towards a negative trend, giving positive impulses to the brain, enhancing it in a positive way, enhances and enriches the lives of our children. Now, what parent in his right mind would not want that?
How we get started? I want to know more. What's the first step?
If you look at the website beneath us, you can go on and learn more. This is a type of GSRtDCs therapy. Let me explain. Galvanic skin resistance, you see, registered with the FDA, on a transcranial direct current stimulation. Now that's a lot to say.
That was a mouthful.
GSRtDCs, that's a lot to say. So we thought we would use quantum because we are talking about the future.
Yes.
Quantum, it's the new science that tells us so much. Super learning, echoing back to Sheila Ashlander's work, etc. Because we're enhancing learning, super learning. Enhancement technician.
Quantum super learning enhancement.
Making kids smarter. We're not talking about medical, etc. There's a whole bunch of things the device does medical, but right now let's just talk about enhancement. Enhancement. So we have QSET, cassette therapist.
Cassette therapist. Very smart. Easy to say, cassette therapist.
Cassette therapist. Jobs of the future.
Jobs of the future.
There's 7 billion people in the world, and 6 billion people need this therapy. 3 billion can afford it. This is the job of the future.
How do you see that in like 10 years? What's your
In 10 years.
yes to goal to have it in?
In 10 years, which grade school? Which grade
What's your
school?
mission?
Well, which grade school wouldn't want to have a couple of technicians? Because what we found is that children with bad behavior on this device, and they get better.
Wow.
When we had Rita doing some work, we had a little girl who was, quote, retarded. She couldn't really speak, Hungarian girl. She couldn't do any math.
How old was she?
16.
16.
And we were doing the study with her mother, and the little girl said, I want, So we said, okay, we'll do it. And when we turned on the device, and the second waveform generator, we turned it on, all of a sudden she started talking normally.
Wow.
She started solving math.
That must be a shock, no?
The parents fell off the chair.
I'm not kidding.
It was amazing.
Must have been a shock for her.
And
I'm
I'm talking. monkey.
She acted as if she always had been.
And just
She
for
wasn't
one
surprised.
time?
Well, one time it lasted about 3 or 4 hours. That's all.
That's incredible.
Second
That's
time
incredible.
it lasted 3 or 4 days, and now
So you're
after
raising
the
the
fourth thing, it's lasted months.
Fascinating.
That is fascinating. So, I mean,
I was talking to a man from California yesterday who said he's had so many children, attention deficit, who could barely talk. They're so attention deficit. When the machine finds it out that the brainwave is too slow, this is attention deficit. They have too slow a brainwave. They have not enough energy in the brain. Then the machine will give them energy in the brain, and it will speed up. It will encourage them with a little signal to speed up the brainwave, and we see attention deficit go away.
And we've seen many, many studies show how it can work on attention deficit and hyperactivity. You can read more about this in our books, and what we've been able to show is that this electrical stimulation of the brain, this very, very safe therapy, can really help in ADHD cases. It can help to slow down an overactive brain and to speed up an underactive brain. And our research has been clinically reviewed and published in peer-reviewed medical journals to make sure that you're getting the best in the world in this device.
And is there age limits that you would
Oh,
recommend?
no, even for the old folks. We've had people on the device who used to have Alzheimer's, and all of a sudden they don't.
oh, wow, okay. Used to
There's a
have
hope for
Alzheimer's.
us.
Yeah.
There's a hope for me.
Oh, for Brad.
Used to have Alzheimer's.
Yes, I have seen cures of Alzheimer's with the device.
Yes, we've seen many different types of cases of Alzheimer's and senility that can respond and improve with this therapy.
Hyperactive children have too fast a brainwave and too much power. Now the machine will try to calm down their brain and to bring a little energy out of the brain, because sometimes they have it from diet or from other things.
With a therapist, this system is designed to be able to find different flaws and balance them, making too fast a little slower, too slow a little faster.
And the best part about this is like you're not using a synthetic drug, no Ritalin in your child.
Nope, this is drug-free, side effect-free.
Side effect free.
That's-
This is
yeah.
very important about the side effect free.
This is a drugless therapy. We're trying to avoid those side effects and have drugless therapies.
Literally what we're doing is charging up the battery, or if the battery is overcharged, we're stabilizing. So what we're doing is we're stabilizing the brain to maximize performance, enhance what we call peak performance. And basically, which type of grade school or high school would say no to having therapists?
I can't imagine it. I can't imagine it.
And major corporations will want this. And
Sometimes your system is a little acid, sometimes it's a little alkaline. This system helps to always balance.
This is definitely the job of the future. If you want to know more, contact us here.
Yes, we've been able to do multiple studies all over the world with literally hundreds of children, showing incredible safety, incredible effects. This is indeed one of the great, incredible jobs of the future opportunities. Being able to interface with the body, with the brain, to increase sport performance, increase scholastic performance, what we call super learning. Making it so that the person can learn twice as much in half the time. It's indeed possible. Making sure that the brain is always kept at an active level, keeping the batteries charged, not overcharged, keeping it balanced, because this system is always working with balance. And this is an incredible opportunity for sales. In the future, people selling and using this technology, an incredible job of the future.
Hello, my name is Rita. I was the biofeedback therapist, and I want to tell you about the results. I tested 93 people, and the machine showed really great results. It increased the achievement. The machine increased the mathematic ability of the people and the logical ability. We achieved great results. Turning on of the second wafer generator had even better results, and we were really happy.
Hi, I've helped multiple children personally with the 2014 inductor device and helped with them with their super learning programs to help increase their intelligence, and as well as athletic abilities, social anxieties, multiple other items.
So I have a daughter. She is 12 years old, and she was in on this machine, and before she was not so good in the school, but after this therapy, she's now the best in the class, and I'm so glad about that she has become something positive energy from this. It just touched my heart so.
I thought that my child, my son, had no future, but after the therapy, he has a very, very great future. Thank you. I am so happy.
So what we've shown you is a technology of the future, waiting for salesmen to help sell it, technicians to help do it. A whole idea, because see, the future, jobs are going to be more respectful of the environment, more green jobs. And they're going to be respectful of the fact that people want more drugless therapies, drug-free. This is an incredible opportunity for you folks. And I hope that you learn more about quantum super learning enhancement technicians. You can learn more from our website. This is an incredible opportunity, jobs of the future for you.